You guys remember this awesome, strong pig monkey Pokemon? You know, that one Pokemon Ash caught way back in the days of the Indigo anime? Well, he captured it alright, and might I say, it was pretty hard to capture. Before it evolved into Primeape, it was a Mankey that Ash and the gang encountered right before he made his way over to Celadon City. Mankey loved to eat, and it really liked Ash's hat. In fact, it stole Ash's hat several times, and this actually got Ash pretty upset, although Mankey was just trying to have fun. While Mankey was messing with Ash, Team Rocket shows up as usual, trying to capture Pikachu. James sees Mankey, and what does he do? Just kicks it out of the way, and this makes Mankey evolve into Primeape. Primeape gets pissed and beats up everyone despite throwing rice balls at it. Finally, after being chased for hours, Ash finally decides to take a stand and challenges Primeape to battle, resulting in him actually capturing it. After the battles with Primeape and Ash winning his 5th badge from Celadon City, he makes his way over to a man and his Hitmonchan preparing for the Pre-1 Grand Prix. The Pre-1 Grand Prix is a competition for fighting Pokemon to see which fighting Pokemon stands out to be the best. Ash actually wins this competition with this Primeape, and the man with the Hitmonchan is so impressed that he actually offers to train Primeape for Ash. Ash accepts this man's offer and leaves Primeape there forever, never going back for it. Ash could have had a very powerful fighting Pokemon if he would have gone back for it. But what if he did? How will that affect Ash and his journey? I think I figured out what would happen if he actually would have kept Primeape on his team. I mean, to be honest, I think we all wonder what would have happened if Ash did actually go back for his Primeape. It would have gotten a lot stronger and probably could have been really useful for the Pokemon League. First and foremost though, there has to be a time in the Indigo anime where Ash actually goes back for Primeape, and the timing would have to be perfect in terms of staying on track with the Pokemon anime. I think the perfect time for Ash to get Primeape back would be right before the start of the Pokemon League. It makes sense due to Ash deciding on what Pokemon he would want to use in the competition. I don't think Ash would go all the way back to the Celadon area for Primeape though. If anything, I feel the trainer would just send it to him. So Ash gets Primeape, trained, ready to go, and stronger than ever. Hyped to see what Primeape can do, Ash uses Primeape in the second round of the Indigo League. The first round is water-filled, and I don't think Ash would use it for that type of battle. Ash decides to use Primeape in the second round of the tournament, and Primeape is so powerful, it is actually able to take out 2 out of 3 of his opponent's Pokemon. I say 2 out of 3 because his opponent's last Pokemon was Nidorino, and Ash actually uses Brain Fruit Change and swap the Squirtle, resulting in a Skull Bash victory. For the remainder of the competition, Ash actually decides not to use Primeape for the entirety of the time. Here's why. Ash was hyped to use Primeape, but we have to take into consideration that he does have other Pokemon he wants to use, such as his Muk, and more importantly, his Charizard. He is at the point where he really wants Charizard to start obeying him and respecting him. With that being said, the competition goes like it usually does, and Charizard winds up screwing Ash out of the Indigo League, just like how he did in the anime. After the Indigo League ends, Ash makes his way over to the Orange Islands, where he decides to leave Primeape at Professor Oak's lab for the time being. He goes through all the islands and obtains all the badges, making his way over to the Orange League, where he then challenges the champion Drake. With it being a 6v6 battle, Ash had to plan his team carefully, and actually decides to bring Primeape on his team. While the match goes as it does in the anime for the most part, Ash actually uses Primeape instead of Tauros. The battle with Primeape was then decided, so Drake sent out his Venusaur. It's Ash. We have to make him dumb at some point in this what if. So Venusaur and Primeape duke it out, and Venusaur is actually putting Primeape on the edge. It shatters its balance with Vine Whip and delivers a barrage of Razor Leaps. With Drake being confident that he can take out Primeape, he orders Venusaur to fire a Solar Beam at Primeape. With Primeape on the ground and Ash shouting for it to get up, all of a sudden it remembered its training that it had. It had learned a new move. So Primeape gets up, charged up, pepped up with its new technique and Ash's words of enthusiasm. Primeape runs at Venusaur and gives it a huge Ice Punch to the face. Primeape then uses 2 more and is able to take out Venusaur. After he withdraws Primeape until the battle with Dragonite, where he has Primeape and Pikachu left, lucky for Ash, Primeape is able to land 1 Ice Punch on Dragonite, enough to weaken it and have Pikachu land the KO with a Thunderbolt. That Dragonite was strong, okay? It tanked a lot of Ash's Pokemon in the anime. Let's also take into consideration that Ash's other Pokemon were tired at the same time and could easily be taken out, including Charizard. Primeape's Ice Punch was the hardest hitting move that Dragonite got hit by, and it's also quad weak to Ice. Essentially, Primeape won the Orange League for Ash, if you look at it like that. After the events of the Orange League, Ash then moves on to Johto, where he doesn't use Primeape for the entirety of the journey until the Johto League, where he had used it against Gary, replacing Ash's Heracross. Primeape is able to take out Gary's Magmar with a barrage of Cryochops, followed by an epic seismic toss Charizard style. Primeape then tries to battle Gary's Arcanine, but it winds up being too fast and is able to take out Primeape with superior speed. Ash then wins the battle against Gary like he does in the anime, and winds up losing to Harrison as well. After Johto, Ash goes to Hoenn and leaves Primeape at Oak Slab for the duration of his journey there. But after he returns from Hoenn, he is informed of the battle frontier going on in Kanto, and you can totally bet Ash is going to use Primeape for this challenge. Ash starts his journey in the battle frontier and makes his way over to the battle arena and sees that Arena Tycoon Greta uses fighting Pokemon herself. Ash, seeing that she does, gives Oak a call and decides to have Primeape and Snorlax get transferred to him. As a fighting Pokemon, Primeape has a lot of pride on the line, and there's also the fact that his master Anthony is actually there watching it. Yeah, Greta and Anthony actually go way back in this scenario, guys. Greta and Anthony have been competing for pre-1 Grand Prix titles for a long time. Primeape's super excited to see Anthony, hypes it up a lot, and Ash, being inspired too, allows Primeape to battle first against Greta. She first sends out Hariyama, and then Primeape and it go head to head, exchanging attacks over and over. Primeape is taking more damage because it doesn't have the bulk and stamina like Hariyama, but regardless, Hariyama is still taking damage. With Primeape hurt and losing stamina, he looks over to Anthony and he gives Primeape a nod of confirmation, basically saying that he can do it and that he believes in it. Primeape then gets tears of joy, and Ash can feel Primeape's fire. Primeape then turns around and shows Ash that his hands are glowing, and Ash immediately realizes that Primeape has learned a new attack. Ash, having no idea what it could be, is curious, but still allows Primeape to use the attack because he believes in it. With the new attack in hand, Primeape uses its speed and is able to catch Hariyama off guard, landing the new attack. What Ash doesn't know is that this attack is Cross Chop, and confirms it using his Pokedex after the battle with Hariyama. With Primeape exhausted, Ash withdraws Primeape and allows Snorlax to take on Greta's final Pokemon, being Medicham. Snorlax winds up doing some damage to Medicham, but in the end winds up getting defeated. With one Pokemon left, being Primeape, Ash sends it out and is in a fighting Pokemon rumble. Having both Pokemon exhausted, they both give it their all, and in the end, with Primeape using Thrash, it is able to take out Medicham and win Ash the Gut symbol. After this battle, Ash is confronted by Anthony and says he is proud of Primeape for doing so well. However, he points out that Primeape isn't getting the proper training being at Oak Slab all the time, and offers the deal to Ash to let him train it until he needs it. Ash agrees and thinks it's a great idea. Also, something I wanted to point out, in the Japanese opening, number 5, for the Battle Frontier, you guys can see Primeape literally in the shot. This what if was inspired because of me seeing that for the most part. Until the Sinnoh League, Ash decides to leave Primeape with Anthony for that time period. Ash also goes through Sinnoh, like he does with other regions, not bringing any other Pokemon to the region aside from Pikachu and Aipom sneaking on the boat. So Ash finishes his Sinnoh journey and he qualifies for the Sinnoh League having his 8 badges. Of course, this is also the league where Ash winds up using a lot of his old Pokemon, and yes, this does include Primeape. Primeape's first battle was when Ash was up against Conway alongside Donphan and Gible. I mean, it was able to take out both Conway's Shuckle and Licky. I mean, come on, it was training the entire time. You gotta give it some credit. Licky was just one close combat. And with Shuckle, because of how obsessed Conway was with defense, he just had Shuckle sit there the entire time in its shell while Primeape just used Cryo Chop and eventually took it out. However, it lost against its Dusknoir due to it being a ghost type. Ash actually still winds up winning the match though with Conway, using his Gible's Dragon Pulse, taking out Conway's Dusknoir. For the duration of the competition, the league plays out as it usually does, and Ash still loses to that dirty cheater Tobias. I think he's a cheater even though he's technically not. I'm just salty because Ash was so close to winning the league for a changeling. Dang it. The Sinnoh League finally commences, and Primeape isn't really used in Kalos, Unova, and in Alola. However, I will say during Ash's battle with Hala, he is reminded of his Primeape due to the fighting spirit of Hala's Pokemon. Primeape is also seen in the picture after the Unova League. Ash called Anthony just for the occasion. He wanted to have all his Pokemon there for the moment that he could have access to. Ash is a little bit better in this what if, but still released all his other Pokemon. What a dum-dum. Well, that was my what if scenario for if Ash kept his Primeape, or more so went back for it. The creators literally just wrote out Primeape, worse than Butterfree and Pidgeot, and what's worse is they more than likely had a plan to bring Primeape back because of the Japanese opening 5 for the Battle Frontier. Even then though, Primeape still didn't have a comeback. I know Primeape wasn't as big of a star as some of the other Pokemon in the What If Ash Kept series, but you have to take into consideration, Primeape didn't play as big of a role as say Pidgeot or Butterfree did. I hope I did a well enough job highlighting Primeape though to satisfy you guys. That was my what if though. Would you guys have done anything different? Let me know in the comments below, and be sure to also tell me what kind of what if you guys want to see next. These do take a lot of planning, so I do apologize for the upload inconsistency of these. There will be more in the future, I can definitely guarantee you that. If you enjoyed the video, why not leave a like and subscribe to my channel with notifications on, that way you never miss an upload. If you want to support me further, consider following me on Twitch where I stream a lot of Nintendo content such as Zelda, Fire Emblem, Mario, Splatoon, and even Dragon Ball FighterZ from time to time. Want to support me further and gain cool perks? Check out my Patreon. Kephius did, and I wanted to thank them personally for going above and beyond. It means the world to me. I think I'm gonna wrap this up though. I'm Mystic Umbreon, and I will see you in the future for more awesome Pokemon content.